is Davonny. They fell in love with Robin.
We both swapped genders and are planning to have a baby together.
My mother is about to arrive. This should be exciting.
So with you actually carrying, literally, biologically carrying a child, the body is telling me that, you know, my body is female, but, you know, here and here, I'm male. Oh my gosh.
I knew I was trans when I was probably around like 13. For a while, I didn't really feel comfortable as being trans because it already felt like there was just a lot of hate towards like gay and bi, and so I'm just like, they got a problem with them. What are they about to say about me? I don't feel like I'm a guy or a woman. I feel like I can be whatever the hell I want to be. Robin and I have been together for approximately 8 months. We met each other first on the dating app.
I think I knew at like a very young age, but I grew up in a very small hillbilly podunk town, so I repressed it for a long time. I went to this summer camp that they had for LGBTQ children. So then once I heard this like trans speaker talking about their transition and how they felt, I was like, you know what, this is kind of how I feel. I'm 25 now, so I've been out for, it'll be almost 10 years that I've been out living my truth. When I first came out, my friends, all of them except for one, cut me off. In school, everybody cut me off. Everyone pretended I didn't exist. So I kind of lost a lot when I came out.
Wow.
Totally opposite experiences.
I mean, my thing is, I'm very selective with the people that I allow into my life anyways. It was a little difficult for them to kind of adjust to the like pronoun change. That was really it. The people who have something to say about my miraculous relationship.
Why did you guys even transition in the first place? Like, that's the man. I'm 5'4" and Bonnie is 6'2", so there's quite a bit of a height difference. A lot of people will be like, what's that little boy gonna do with all that woman? You don't know how to handle her. I'm like, little do you know. I literally don't care. You are not part of my everyday life. At the end of the day, this is who I sleep next to, not you. This is who I wake up next to and spend my days with, not you. So your opinion means very, very little to me.
We eat good, we sleep good, we look good, so.
We're good. Most everything falls on like trans women, especially trans women of color. It'll do anything to tear them down.
Whether it's including pedophilia, attaching that to trans women, or masculinizing them. Pretty much the same problems that Black women go through, Black trans women deal with as well, but we have to worry about getting murdered for nothing but existing.
We decided to start trying to have a kid, I would say, like...
It was around the time that Robin actually ended up finding out that he was pregnant.
Well, I was pregnant for about a good month and a half, and then I went to the doctor, found out that I had a miscarriage. I was crying, I was in a lot of pain, I was bleeding a lot. I have PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome.
It just makes it more difficult
to carry your baby to term, yeah. One of the first things we talked about was that we both wanted to have kids. We didn't want to have to adopt. We didn't want to have to pay for surrogates, and we wanted kids that were like ours. They were literally our DNA. And I think that's one of the things that interested us in each other, is that we both kind of wanted the same things. We've already both stopped taking our hormones.
Yeah, we've already been in the process of that, which is why I'm starting to be all deteriorating and stuff. I was actually fairly far in my transition, and I started feeling like myself and feeling really comfortable, so having to stop wasn't really the greatest. Making those sacrifices was like being an addict going through withdrawal. If you want to have children being trans, it's definitely something that can take away your ability to have children. And they do let you know that, but I think, they should definitely make it very, very like, honey, you better not want kids, because you might after 2 years, you probably ain't gonna have them. So, because it's like the longer you're on them, the lower your count becomes, You
could regret it.
We are currently preparing food because my mother is about to arrive, and she will be bringing my brother, who will be meeting Robin for the first time. This should be exciting.
I didn't know what it was at first. I was actually very confused. I was like, transgender, like Transformers? That's so cool.
It was shock. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, are you gonna like cut your parts off and all this other stuff? So it was kind of tough. some people haven't accepted it, and they respond to things like that in a very violent way. So I was concerned because I've known people who have gotten hurt. I've known someone who's gotten killed.
So, how did you feel about the decision?
I kind of saw it happening already, because I remember saying to you, I'm like, what about makeup? Would you ever wear makeup? You're like, no. What, me? Makeup? Yeah, right. And then, you know, next thing you know, you've got like this full face and you're just like fabulous. So when you finally did tell me, it was just, honestly, it was like a relief. It was almost like I had a daughter, and it was actually kind of fun.
So what was the most difficult aspect about changing my gender and pronouns?
First of all, you know, knowing that I gave birth to a he was just really hard to wrap my mind around. So for 18 years, you were he. And then all of a sudden I have to, you know, change the pronouns. So that was really hard. And you did not give us an inch. I'd be like, he. You'd be like, excuse me? He? Who's he? Who? Definitely not me. So I'm just like, oh my gosh. I have like this whole different perspective and a whole different appreciation, actually, for the LGBTQ community, because actually having a child that it just opened my eyes up to how much you have to deal with. So now when I see somebody who is transgender, like in a store, now it's just like, oh, bravo.
How do you feel about being an uncle?
Actually, I'm not very fond of children in general. Sure, it won't be my problem. I can always just like
Hand it back.
Yeah.
I think our kids will face more backlash than most kids because they're interracial and they're have two trans parents.
Yeah, but you already know that our
Kids are gonna not take any of that.
Of course. And so with you actually doing what has been seen as a very feminine thing and carrying, literally, biologically carrying a child, do you feel like that would cause like this dysphoria, like this disconnect from, oh my gosh, you know, the body is telling me that, you know, my body is female, but, you know, here I'm male, I'm carrying this child.
I've wanted kids for a long time, so I feel like I've had a lot of time to mentally kind of prepare for it. I feel like once I start like getting a big belly and stuff, I might be like a little insecure.
Yeah.
But
I just want you to be able to have and create the life that you want. And regardless of what people have to say, just like live, you know, in your world and just make it look like whatever you want. Just be happy.
My world is pastel pink with diamond glitter.
Great. I'll join you sometimes. I love pink. It's already hard to find a partner already. So when you have like all of these things, you know, mounted up against you, and so when you find someone, it's really special. They absolutely adore each other, so I think it's cute. I hope it lasts forever. I hope they get married.
I would say advice to people who are finding love in their trans: don't give up hope. There's somebody for everybody out there. We all have that special someone that'll make us feel like the sun rises and sets just for us. And even if you feel hopeless, just be patient. Your time will come.